What is up, gamers? I am the Dino Gamer 556, and it is finally that time. A video that I promised to make over 3 months ago is finally almost, well, it's out now, so you're welcome. Anyway, a while ago, I promised that I would make a ranking video ranking every single anime that I've watched. It's been a couple months, and I have racked up over 21 animes that I have completely watched. Now, since I've watched a lot of them, I am kind of being lazy because I'm a bit short on time, and my whole entire week has been messed up by, well, things that I did not want to happen that unfortunately did happen in my life. Anyway, so most of the clips you guys will be seeing are just the intros of every anime, but just know most of them are pretty good. I had to make some difficult decisions, and this was definitely the hardest tier list that I've had to make. But since, intros don't get much, viewer attention anyway, let's just get right into the list. So, there are 3 animes that I'm currently in the process of watching right now that are not completed. And because of that, I'm putting them in the honorable mention tier, and I will be ranking these 3 animes, and then we'll be going to my main list of 21. Mistress Kanan is devilishly easy, is honestly, it's alright. For being a romantic comedy, it struggles in the comedy department, and a lot of romantic comedies struggle in the comedy department, because I'm going to be honest, a lot of people would usually think that romantic comedy anime is boring, but no, you can have a good entertaining romantic comedy anime, and you can have a boring romantic comedy anime, just like you can have an entertaining shoujo anime and a boring shoujo anime. It's all the same. And Mistress Kanan is definitely easy, just suffers from the fact that it's kind of boring and its premise isn't that interesting. Although the gimmick of the love interest being a demon is somewhat interesting, there's just a lot better that I think it could go for. Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku it's pretty good, honestly. I like the vibes this anime gives off, and I like the main character. He seems like an actual pretty likable dude. Another thing that I like about him is that he's not a huge pervert. Most of these main characters of these romance animes are. So when they're not, it's a really, really big sigh of relief, because it just makes things so much better. The show, honestly, is pretty good, but since there's only 2 episodes out, I can't really say much on it. But maybe when it gets 12 episodes, I'll be able to do a full review on it. And I made friends with the second prettiest girl in class. That's a long one. I mainly like this one just because I like how real the characters feel. And the friendship between the main protagonist and the love interest is honestly pretty good. And I honestly see them as great friends, not even lovers. Because although we're only 2 episodes in on that one as well, I really like it. The main character in the show is also really chill and just, it's very fun. It doesn't have those rom-com cliches. And most of episode 1 and 2 is just the main characters just having a good time and hanging out together and talking about movies. And it's a really refreshing breath of fresh air, and definitely one of the animes that I'm very excited about. But now that we're done with the honorable mentions, let's get into the actual ranking. Girlfriend is nothing special, and the anime is not that good. I'll be honest, it's very forgettable. I do remember events and set pieces that happened, but if you asked me to name any character from the show, I legitimately could not tell you. The only incredible thing that this anime has going for it is the fact that I think the intro slaps. But other than that, this show doesn't really have anything going for it. The main protagonist is dense, but not in like a comedic way, just like a stupid way. And he says and asks for the most, like, unnecessarily stupid and unbelievable things, and it's just not good. It's forgettable, it's boring, a lot of the characters are honestly annoying, especially with the main protagonist, and the entire anime is just like 100 Girlfriends, but not as funny, and it takes itself way too seriously. There's only 4 girlfriends, but for most of the anime there's only 2, and it's just unlikable. The Suji, whatever, family children is so mid. I wouldn't even say mid. It's not that good. This anime really has about as much plot progression as Rent a Girlfriend. Nothing really changes, and although there's only one season, I can really confidently say only like two characters. Too bad I can't remember their names. The main protagonist is pretty generic and he's nothing special, and because of that, there's nothing I can really say that's special about him. There's nothing really special about this anime. It's incredibly generic. I mean, it literally takes something from one of the animes we'll talk about later on this list, which I'll talk about, and I was just like, man, they did this again? How cliche. This anime really has nothing to offer, and although it's supposed to be called a romantic comedy, I don't think I laughed once while watching this. Maybe I laughed once, but the anime is just unfunny. And when you're in a romantic comedy, you gotta get the comedy down. Shikimori's not just a cutie. More like, this anime is boring. Yeah, I like romantic comedy animes. It used to be my favorite genre, and it probably still is. Yet, despite that, they somehow made this thing boring. It had a super interesting premise about this main character who has really bad luck, so he has a really protective girlfriend. But no, I'm not saying that Shikimori should have been a yandere, but they did nothing interesting. It was very generic. You have your generic beach episode, your generic fireworks episode, and they didn't throw the premise in to really change it. When you're going to have these cliches like going to the beach or the fireworks festival, you should at least use your gimmick to your advantage to make it better, because he doesn't even get that unlucky at the fireworks festival. I mean, he mans up a little, but other than that, there's just really nothing I can talk about, because this anime was just boring. The quintessential quintuplets is another boring one. I'll be honest, I watched both seasons and I did not really like it. Number one, the girls at first are insanely unlikable, and the main character is also rather unlikable too. Like Nino, she literally poisons him not once, but twice with like sedatives that knocked him out. She does this twice. And although she gets better, at the end of the day, the anime is just so boring. You see, in the Suiji family children, one of the characters, Oka, I think her name was, she runs away from home. Guess who runs away from home in this? Nino. Literally, they took that bar. They took this man's flow bar for bar. And I just have to be honest. It's just nothing. It's really a nothing show. And honestly, if you're going to make me feel bored, I'd rather you make me angry and fuming than make me just feel bored and nothing. And Quintessential Quintuplets made me feel nothing. Monster Girl Doctor. Can I find anything more mid? Out of the two Monster Girl shows, I see a lot of people say Monster Girl Doctor is better, and I'm going to just be honest. No, I think the world building is pretty good, and Saphentide is awesome, and I like the Dragon Lady, but other than that, there's not really much I can say here. There's nothing really I could say about Monster Girl Doctor, and when you have an anime that you have nothing to say about, I think that just tells you everything. When you have nothing to say, that says everything, and it was just kind of boring, I'll be honest. And although it had a really interesting premise, he doesn't even really like act much with the whole doctor thing. And although he does it occasionally, I mean, they take down like a sex trafficking organization, which, I mean, that's cool, I guess, but the premise, question mark? I feel like they could have done a lot more with it. You can't be in a rom-com with your childhood friends. This anime was all right. It was honestly pretty funny, but the joke that usually got me the most is how much they say the title. Seriously, the amount of times they say you can't be in a rom-com with your childhood friends, it's kind of insane. So, what I really like about it is the premise, because, you know, there's a big meme in the anime community that the childhood friend character in rom-coms never wins. So they decided, what if we make a rom-com where they're all childhood friends? That's the premise, and you can't really go extremely far on that, especially when a lot of the characters are just annoying or unlikable. I will die on the hill that other than Alia and Karne, tsunderes are kind of annoying, like extremely annoying to watch them just absolutely disrespect the main character. Granted, the main character in the show isn't great, But I like Haru. She's goated. And because of that, 16. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K is not bad, but I'll be completely honest. I kind of lost interest with it by season 2. I thought it had some interesting premise, and I really liked some of the characters. Like, Nendo? Yeah, Nendo. Ooh, I love that guy. He's an idiot, but I love that guy. His whole thing is that he's so stupid, Psyche can't read his mind. That's genius writing. Yet, even with that genius writing, the show is, like, pretty funny, and that's really all I could give it. It's just, the show didn't really speak to me, and as a full-on comedy, I thought it was good, but compared to these other animes, I just didn't think it stacked up as much. Tomo-chan is a girl, so it's another, rom-com with an insanely basic premise, but they were able to make it funny. So, for all my fans out there that like tomboys, the two fans watching this video, the anime is essentially about this girl named Tomo, who likes her childhood best friend. Yeah, look at that. It's a childhood friend. Except he sees her as one of the guys, and she wants to be seen as a girl, so he'll fall for her. Essentially, this anime is kind of a one-off, which has a big issue because when you only have 12 episodes or 13 episodes to get into the main characters, you really gotta show me something great. Monster Girl Doctor was another one-off, and it didn't really provide a big enough impression. Maybe if it had a season 2, I would have liked it more. Granted, Girlfriend had a season 2, and I didn't like it, so maybe I'm just spouting nonsense. Anyway, Tomo-chan is a girl is pretty good, and I think it fits for the middle of this list. My Dress-Up Darling. I'm sure some of y'all are confused on why it is so low, but don't get me wrong. I like this show. Marin Kitagawa, she is great. Literally the type of friend we all need who just accepts all your interests. Yet, despite that, I just think there's better anime out there. I really like the premise and how, Gojo helps her out with, her cosplays and stuff. And it's a really sweet show. It's sweet. It's nice. It's not Gunner Bait. As you guys know, a lot of these animes have Gunner Bait, but I haven't talked about it because I don't think Gunner Bait makes something good or bad. Because at the end of the day, what makes a good anime, guys? Good plot, good characters, comedy, that kind of stuff. Not the amount of fan service. Fan service is not a factor we should account into what makes an anime good or bad. I will get off my soapbox now. Anyway, My Dress-Up Darling is good, and I think you should watch it. Shy Moneta. How much am I going to be able to show? And how much will I be able to say about this anime? Let's just say, in this anime, it essentially takes place in the future where all forms of dirty jokes and dirty media has been banned. And we essentially follow a band of dirty terrorists, essentially, who go around spreading dirty and inappropriate things to, enlighten people so they're not so sheltered. This anime is very funny, very Vivzy poppy. Oh my goodness, I saw some Hazbin Hotel in there, but I'll be honest, its premise is so absurd, it goes back around to being funny, and because of that, I think it's pretty good. Spy X Family is a great slice of life action comedy. Yeah, this thing's got this genre has a lot, and I mean a lot of different genres you can put for it. I honestly really love the characters. Lloyd is goated in aura farming. Yor is also goated in aura farming. Anya, she's goated in aura farming. Everybody in this show is goated. I love the elegance guy. I forgot his name, but he's the guy with the freaking birdhouse, the freaking house roof mustache. Y'all know who I'm talking about if you watch Spy X Family. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The elegant guy. Anyway, Spy X Family, it's great. I love the action, especially the arc where they're on the cruise and Yor just locks in and takes out like 50 assassins. Spy X Family is great, and don't get me wrong, just because it's 11 doesn't mean it's bad. We are in the good anime territory. We've been in the good anime territory, honestly. Disastrous Life of Psyche K started the good anime territory, and we've just been going up from there. Anyway, Spy X Family is great, and I recommend you watch it. Monster Musume, we're going full circle and talking about this anime again. If you want to know more about my thoughts on Monster Musume, you can watch my everything that I watched in 2025 ranking. because that's where I'd say most of my stuff. But just know this anime is funny, its characters are memorable. Kimihito, he is goated. That man has survived everything. He is like Subaru. He has seen hell, and he has walked straight through it and made it alive just fine. And you know what? Just watch it. The Rascal Does Not Dream series is honestly cinema. Its movies are great, especially Rascal Does Not Dream of Dreaming Girl. Yeah, you're finally hearing my take on this anime now. It is incredibly great, and just because it has Bunny Girl in one of the titles, just know that the Bunny Girl outfit shows up in like 2 episodes and has like probably 2 minutes of screen time. It is not important. Essentially, what it is just the main character Sakuta helping get over people's angst. You know, that kind of thing. He helps people with their problems. This man a full-time therapist. And you know what? I like it. The part where, guess what? The main protagonist love interest, Mai Sakurajima, she dies. And he has to essentially restart an entire timeline so she lives. And honestly, the way that was moving, that was having me on the verge of tears. I swear, Rascal Does Not Dream of Dreaming Girl. Oh, it's so good. It's so cinema. And just talking about this series as a whole, its characters are so well made. And Sakuta, he's the GOAT, honestly. For the amount of outrageous stuff he says, his monotone voice and just the way that he's presented and played is just incredible. He's such a, like, relatable, almost, main protagonist. And the whole thing about reading the atmosphere is great. Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now, I made a full video on this anime, but just know, it is funny. It is funny, but it also can be really serious and nice with its character writing as well. It has incredible characters, and it's really funny. And it's really a shame how they've been carrying the series so far, with skipping over 100 chapters of manga to make the Stairway to Adulthood special. And honestly, I think it's a waste because this anime is way too good to be ended with a movie. They should have just given it a season 4 like it should have. Instead, I don't know why they're doing my GOAT Kaguya-sama Love is War like this, but that's really all I can say on it because I made a full video on it. So check that video out if you want to hear more of my thoughts. The 100 girlfriends that really love you. Now, don't be discouraged because this is an 8. This is still peak. Like, goodness gracious, is this show peak. This show, I would say, might be even funnier than Kaguya-sama. Maybe I'm about to get flamed in the comments for that. I said maybe. I also made a full video talking about my thoughts on the 100 girlfriends, so watch that if you want to know my more intellectual, deeper thoughts on the show. Just know it's very funny, and although its premise sounds outlandish and wacky, it is still just really good, and it works. Even though it should not work, it works, and I will be watching Season 3. Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian is an anime that I really enjoy, and I'm honestly surprised I haven't made a full video on it. Sure, I made a video glazing Yuki Suo and talking about why I like her so much, but like, I mean, obviously, she's Yuki Suo. But, anyway, this show is really good and honestly is an amazing romantic comedy, and it's almost my top romantic comedy anime. The characters are great. Masachika, he is goated. He plays gacha games. He knows what it feels like to lose the 50-50, just like I did. Multiple times. Yet despite that, he still goes on. Man, is this show just great. It is incredibly funny. The characters are fun and entertaining. Really, all you gotta have to make a good romantic comedy is just make good, memorable, and entertaining characters. There's not a single character in this anime that I necessarily dislike nor hate. I honestly find them all incredibly enjoyable, and just because of that, I gotta give it extremely high props. The anime is great. The animation and the way the eyes are drawn is great as well. And low-key, it is kind of sad that Season 2 got delayed to 2027. But you know what? If they're gonna cook up Peak, I'm gonna wait for Peak. Because I'm sitting at my table, and I ain't full yet. Konosuba is incredibly funny. Now, don't be discouraged that this anime is an isekai. Just because it's an isekai doesn't mean it's bad. I know there's a lot of oversaturated isekai, but hey, the main protagonist, guess what? He isn't overpowered. This isn't a power fantasy. He doesn't have a harem of girls. Well, his companions are 3 girls, but they're complete idiots who don't love him. They just see him as a good friend. And you know what? I like it. This show is incredibly funny. Not on the level of 100 Girlfriends or Kaguya, But this is mainly comedy first, isekai second, and I really enjoy the comedy approach here. Sure, there's some more darker themes that you can explore, but there's another show for that. There's another show for that. Anyway, just know that Konosuba is peak, and that's really all I can say. Call of the Night, I spent 9 minutes yapping about why it is so good, and you know what? I can spend a minute or two yapping about why it's so good too. Anko Iguisu, she is great. I've talked about this villain so many times, this redeemed villain, this awesome character. The glaze is deserved, and she is awesome, and you know what? That's really all I'm going to say. This is my top romantic comedy, and even though season 1 is kind of slow, season 2 really kicks things into high gear, and you know what? This is what Twilight thought it was, but this surpasses Twilight and then some. Man, I am glazing today. Akame ga Kill is an anime that I also wanted to make a full video about, but I didn't. But just know, it is peak. It has Esdeath in it. I love Esdeath. Top 10 waifus of all time. Top 1 waifus of all time. Come on now. Sit her right next to Maki Zenin. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Specifically season 3. Anyway, Esdeath, she is peak, but not just that. The anime is peak. Although it has an incredibly depressing ending where everybody dies, and I'm gonna be real, that John had me in tears. That John had me like, oh man. I was thinking about that. I was thinking hard about that, and how just like, man, I just spent 24 episodes getting attached to these characters just for all of them to die. But anyway, the fights are really good. This anime is just really good, and honestly, I really enjoyed it. And hey, for those discouraged about everybody dying, guess what? Tatsumi and Mine don't die in the manga, and they live happily ever after and get married. So, yay. Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen was this peak, and y'all didn't tell me? Oh my goodness, Jujutsu Kaisen is an anime I knew about for a long time, watched the first 5 episodes, and then completely took a break. And then, last week, I locked in, and I watched the whole thing, season 1, up to season 3, the movie, and it is so peak. I'm going to be talking about this for a while, because I wanted to make a full video on it, but I'm not. Maybe I'll talk about Jujutsu Kaisen later when season 4 comes out next year. Oh, it's gonna be peak. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen is essentially about these curses and the Jujutsu sorcerers who take out the curses. And the Jujutsu sorcerers use curse techniques, which is essentially how the power system works. And these curse techniques is fueled by cursed energy. And there's just so many cool characters, alright? I'm telling Nanami, rip my goat. That man never got to go to Malaysia, and it low-key sucks. Okay, the lawyer man, he's goated. His fight with Yuji in episode 9 was genuinely amazing. The part with the retrial and the part where he goes like, dude, Sukuna controlled you. You weren't guilty. And he was like, nah, I was too weak. And he was like, dang. Yeah, you can have my points now, by the way. Higuruma is goated. Love that guy. I know a lot of people just see the meme, but honestly, he was a really, impressionable character, and despite the fact that he doesn't really show up much in the show, Higuruma is still great, and, let's just keep the train going. Okay, Maki straight aura farming. I already liked Maki in season 1 and 2, but man, in season 3, does she pop off. Let's just say Maki, in season 3, episode 4, is genuinely just going crazy. Naya, you know that guy? You know the guy who aura farms doing the slick back hair thing? Nah. This man gets punched into the ground in 4 different angles. The generational amount of disrespect this guy got was crazy. But you know what? He was a big misogynist. So you know what? That shit was deserved. That was deserved. Anyway, all I can really say about Jujutsu Kaisen is it is peak. Aizo has been replaying on my phone, on my playlist, ever since I started watching season 3. I have been listening to that nonstop. I don't get the Yuta slander, alright? He is not a fraud. He's not a bum. He is a goated. Y'all saw the way he was moving in the finale. Y'all saw the way he was moving against Laserhead Guy and the Team Sky Reject, alright? Y'all saw how he was moving. I mean, he literally had the intro playing in the background as he fought them. What more can I say? And you know what? A lot of JJK fans can't read, but I can read. Alright, I can read. I got the Bunny Girl Senpai manga. I know how to read. I am not one of them. Anyway, I love this show. Poor Jogo. Poor Jogo. He picked a fight with the two strongest characters in the verse. L for him. All my homies. Hey, Mahito. Y'all know I was cheering when I saw Yuji start aura farming on him in the like snowy area. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen is peak, and I will continue talking about this anime, and I will continue sending my friend Jujutsu Kaisen means. My friend, if you're watching this, you know who you are, and you know you are getting more memes from me. Let's get to number one. So number one was ReZero, and it was honestly really close between deciding whether I like Jujutsu Kaisen more than ReZero. Because Jujutsu Kaisen is incredible. It's got incredible animation, it has incredible fights. We already know this. Granted, I don't watch the show for the fights. I watch the show because I love how it's deep and complex themes about morality and family and just death and killing and all these different philosophies on that. I love how those dark themes it touches upon it. Like that conversation between Mahito and Yuji where Mahito's like, you kill cursed spirits like it's something, I kill humans like it's nothing. We're not that different. Great. ReZero kicks it up a notch. Man, I can glaze ReZero so much, and ReZero Season 4 is also great. I was going to make some YouTube videos talking about episodes 1 and 2, but I might just make a full review when the full season releases in like August and November, probably. Anyway, just know that ReZero is incredible. ReZero is peak, and I love this anime. It is my favorite show of all time, and one of the only pieces of media that I have ever given a 10 out of 10, and probably will ever give a 10 out of 10. Just because this show is an isekai doesn't mean it is terrible. I mean, it takes away all the tropes. The characters are so realistic, because Subaru over here is begging for people to help him. He expects people to help him, but guess what? They don't help him, because why would they help somebody when they get nothing out of it in return? I love how realistic the characters are and how he actually has to earn their respect and not just get it through hacks because he's the main character and the plot demands it. It's just one of the many reasons why I love ReZero so much, and I could go on and on about ReZero, but honestly, this is proving to be one of my longest YouTube videos that I've made, and I don't want to keep y'all here too long. I already know most of y'all left. I know most of my retention is down. I know how popular my YouTube channel is. The algorithm probably shadow banned me. Anyway, despite that, I love ReZero, and honestly, I'm so glad I've been able to get into anime. This year has just been incredible for what I've been able to watch. You know, normally my life is just be scrolling on YouTube Shorts, but I've had something to do, and maybe a year from now, I'll make another video just like this on even more anime that I'm watching. I'm honestly running out. Maybe I'll take like Alia Season 2 in it because I was kind of struggling to find good anime to watch recently. Anyway, just know that I've really, really enjoyed watching it, and I will see you all in my next video.